Hi everyone, it is Lisa and I am here with another Finding Fabulous Lakeside Editions as I share with you some of the life lessons, ahas, and insights that I am finding as I navigate this path of designing the career and life of my dreams. Well, today I want to share with you some of the lessons that I learned this weekend at a business meeting and conference that I went to. And it's so funny because it really came to me on these statements of absurdity. And I started to recognize how absurd some of the choices I've been making really are. And this is all thanks to Marilyn Suttle. So I'll give a shout out to Marilyn, who is an amazing success coach and keynote speaker. And she ran us through this workshop this weekend that really, I guess, reminded me about how absurd I have been, how absurd the choices are that I have been making. And it's because she asked us to come up with the 5 or 6 key items that we are not doing in order to move us to the next level. And whether that be in business, not releasing a product, not working with individuals, not speaking at a higher level, or whether that was specific to not eating healthy, not exercising, whatever it was, and everybody chose something different. She asked us to consider why. What was the cost, and what was the cost of not doing that? And so, when we were asked to put those 2 statements together and then go around the room, sharing with one another, I started to recognize that not doing things was a choice and how absurd it actually was. And so the statements would sound something like this. I'm choosing not to eat healthy so I can feel lethargic and crappy. Or I am choosing not to take my work to a higher level so that I can stay small and insignificant and not really make any more money. So you can imagine how absurd that actually even feels when you throw in those words, I'm choosing, and so that I can. Those 2 parts of the statement. One of the bigger things, though, that I wanted to actually share with you today is a moment at that conference when I was going around the room, and one of the women that came to face me that I was to share with, I consider really successful. I mean, she has created won all sorts of awards, created a Nobel Peace nominated nonprofit organization. And I thought, this woman, she's got it together. She's got this fantastic life, and she's at this level that I can only dream of getting to someday. And yet here she was, standing in front of me, sharing a similar, I am not doing so that I can. And it seemed to me that similar fears of going to the next level and fear of what's next and what step to take next, it's not unique to people like me who are just starting out. It's one of those things that, a lot of times I get stuck and I'm like, I just don't know, and, I'm limiting myself. But there is just something super liberating and freeing about realizing that doesn't go away. And I know that sounds odd because it's like, oh God, those fears never go away. But I think we just get through them. It's almost like every time we get to a new level or we push ourselves to the next goal, we're going outside of our comfort zone, we want big things for our lives, that maybe that's just normal, that we get to this spot where we're like, I'm afraid to do the thing that I know I need to do. Because let's face it, I would imagine that there are some of you out there that are thinking, I'm afraid to quit my job. And at the same time, it's the right decision. Or I'm afraid to actually launch my online business. And I know it's the right decision. Or I'm afraid to really commit to exercising the way I know I need to. And I don't know where to start. So it just seems like maybe that if that is just so common, maybe we don't have to put so much time, energy, and effort towards it. What if we could just actually be like, okay, that's the step I'm at. I'm afraid. And it sucks. Because it does. Let's face it, it does suck when you're at that stage. But what if, I'm thinking, what if I can just be like, okay, thank you, fear. I'm afraid to take the next step. I'm just going to set you aside, and I'm going to go forth. I'm going to take the next step that I need to take. And when I get to the next level and that fear hits me again, I'm going to recognize it and be like, yep, I remember this. I know what this is at. This is like a sign almost. It's like it's almost the entryway to the next amazing thing that's going to happen in your life. At least that's what it feels like. So I want to thank Marilyn for bringing that opportunity to me, that lesson, and to all the amazing entrepreneurs and coaches and consultants and nonprofit leaders that shared that experience with me. And I share it with all of you as you go out and find your version of fabulous. At the doorway to fabulousness is that fear and those things that are blocking you. Recognize it's a choice and go forth anyway. And you hopefully will find your version of fabulous along the way. That's it today from the lake. Here's Leo saying, get out there and find your own version of fabulous. Bye, guys.